This is a 2023 Nissan Rogue, and this is my rental car for this trip that I'm on. And when I got in and saw that the mileage was at 18, I'm like, well, I guess this is a fair car to review because there won't be any shenanigans that have occurred with the car, since apparently I might be the first one to rent this thing from the particular company I'm renting from. But anyways, doing this walk around this car, it is a very, very rugged looking Rogue. I do like the look a lot better than the original Rogues. I always thought they were kind of frumpy looking, but this isn't so bad. This car is, I think, just a base model. I have not noted anything to say it has extra features or anything. It has a CVT transmission, it appears to be front wheel drive, and it has that weird variable compression Nissan engine, which I'll speak more about here in a second. It seems that Nissan has come a ways from their, I guess, 2000s and 2010s interiors of their best-selling cars. So my previous experience with Rogues and Sentras and Altimas of the era was very plasticky, but this has a lot of soft touch plastics on here, a nice cloth interior, a pretty decent sized screen, you know, informative dash here. And you know, for what you get and what you pay for an exterior, I actually like the interior of it, and that's pretty good. Of course, the exterior is a lot more rugged, and I'll go show that here in a moment. But so far, it's not too bad. And I you know, again, as I've said of many other cars, I'd certainly drive it. I wouldn't have an issue if this was what I owned. As you can see with the luggage I have with my backpack and small suitcase, the trunk is about average size. I can't say it's awesome or bad or whatever. Seats, as you can see, can fold down and get some more room in here. I'll put down on the field below what the dimensions are if anybody's interested to see, but it's your standard, I guess, mid-size crossover SUV trunk that seems to have enough capacity for, I would say, a family of 4 should have enough of these size bags to all go on a small trip somewhere. So I'm 5'10", I'll show what this back seat is like. So these seats are all positioned where I would be comfortable up front. Now I should know most average Americans are a lot larger than me, but heck, for my family and everybody who I would ever ride in this car, I think this would be just fine. So, gonna get in. So as you can see, plenty of leg room, plenty of headroom. It's not bad. I mean, I can kind of actually stretch my feet out some as well, as you can see here. So it's not too bad. It does have nothing back here for the passengers. I mean, I don't even see USB ports for power or anything. Has your vents though, some sort of cubby for some reason. I guess perhaps that's where things would go, like if you had a higher option vehicle, a little more of a trim package. Clearly no sunroof. And it's got the same materials like the front has. I think these doors are actually pretty nicely patterned. I like the cloth inserts and the soft touch plastic, which doesn't feel as soft back here as it does in the front. All right, so this Rogue has a 1.5 liter 3-cylinder engine that has the variable compression and turbo. It's about 200 horsepower, 225 foot-pounds of torque. Again, as if you've seen my previous video about the Honda Accord, I have a extreme distaste for CVT transmissions, and I think that this engine might be pretty lively and peppy if not for the transmission kind of slogging through it. It seems to be pretty torquey on the low end, but still not as responsive as I would like. But for people just driving from point A to point B, it's fine. It really is. Now, while I say it's fine, I think this engine makes some of the most ugly noises. It's not a pleasant sound when you're on wide open acceleration on this car, and I will demonstrate that here when we get inside and take this for a spin back to the airport actually. So real quick, so the infotainment is Nissan's product here. Now, as you see, we're currently in CarPlay mode, where I always hate when reviewers talk about this or whatever. It's as responsive as it should be. I have an iPhone 14 Pro. Maybe the screen doesn't move as fast, or refresh rate's not that great, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna fault it. It does the job. Now, the actual Nissan interface is here, and it's okay. I mean, this car clearly, as it says, base model, so it doesn't have built-in nav or any of that type of stuff. It is what it is. I mean, I think most people in today's world are going to plug in their phone, either use Android Auto or they're going to use CarPlay and do their thing. So now if you're one who wants all those bells and whistles like nav and all that stuff built into the car, you probably have to go over a higher model of this Xterra, maybe the SV package or Platinum, but this base model certainly doesn't have it. And it also, for ports, you get one USB-C and one USB Type A, and of course your standard 12 volt, which some of us who are old would call a cigarette light adapter. I'm old, that's what I know it as, but it's 12 volt power. Start, stop, and of course it's got your drive modes, park, auto hold. The drive modes is kind of funny. I don't notice much of a difference. I've been riding around in eco mode and sport, trying to see. Eco mode, I guess it provides a more efficient band from the CVT, but it's not like it changes handling or anything. It's just really there.
Proceed to the route. At the next light, turn left.
Oh, one more thing about this infotainment stereo system. I, who used to own a few Nissans, have picked up on the fact that this car's base audio system is pretty trash. So just want to put that out there.
At the light.
You might ask, what do I consider trash? Well, in this car, there's really hollow sound from the mid-range. If you turn up the volume in any sort of way to kind of get into the groove, it's very heavily distorted. Again, this is what I've known from Nissans in their base model configuration. They just, I don't know what it is, but they sound terrible. And in my case, I had a 2011 Pathfinder, and modifying the car to a different audio system, of course, with these built-in things was proved to be difficult, and changing the speakers based on the ohm ratings, it was also a little silly. So anyways, just putting that out there, and I probably said that a few times, but it's no good. I guess I never did mention the shifter. So this is also standard now in Nissans that I've been in. So as you drive, and as you click it down, it switches between drive mode and CVT manual mode, whatever that is. There are paddles, but whatever. And like I said, it has paddles. They kind of simulate shifting or whatever, but I'm not sure unless I see what the point of them are. So here's what I'm talking about, this noise. Sounds kind of rattly every now and then, but
turn right.
Not a fan. Like, it's almost as if it's knocking a bit at certain throttle points. So here we're flat out. So that's flat out. And you can see it does this little boost and it goes all the way up. So we're gonna play with the CVT paddle just to show why I say it's worthless. So, I mean, when you press the gas pedal, and it'll lock itself into gears, not gear, whatever ratio. I don't even know what you call those things in a CVT. So right now, it's in 6, whatever, and it will stay in that position. Again, I'm not sure, maybe if you're towing something that becomes useful, but I'm not sure the person who buys a Rogue is somebody's gonna be towing anything. Maybe a U-Haul trailer, maybe a small jet ski, but it doesn't seem like the common use case for your point A to point B driver, which is what I think most Rogue owners are. So you can, I'm going to tap the paddle for a downshift and you can kind of see how it reacts. So it looks like it reacts pretty quickly, but it's still really laggy when you press the gas pedal to kind of get your go on. That's again another shift. So you never ever feel like there's 225 foot-pounds of torque in this thing. I don't feel it. And I'm gonna make that noise. You hear that? Not pleasant. So this car, being the base model, doesn't have the Nissan Pro Pilot, but it does have cruise control. It works. I don't think it's adaptive. I'm not about to try it here on these California highways. And it's okay as a cruiser, as a car you would drive your family in. I think it does, you know, check all the boxes. And really, honestly, I mean, I think we're going to get to a point where most car choices are going to be about stylistic choices. I mean, as cars move more to being automated and driving themselves and stuff like that, it's going to be, does the car look like what you want? Because I'm saying most of these cars I get into, which are the cars that people should be driving for the point A to point B people, it's about what fits your style and personality and stuff like that. And this Rogue, I actually do like the outside styling on it. I'm not so sure I'm a fan of the engine noise and the transmission. I don't like it. But with that said, I mean, it's roomy. You can throw some luggage in here. Has a little bit of utility with the folded down seats and stuff like that. And it'll get the job done. Now, from a price point, I'm gonna jump cut to myself because I don't know the price. I don't even have a sticker for this car, but we'll do some, we'll see what future me has to say about that. So going through the Nissan configurator and speccing it just like the rental version, it seems this is about $29,000, $29,095. So not bad for the money. I mean, really considering where we are with inflation and how much cars cost. So there you go. Oh, I guess I should also talk about handling. So it's okay. I mean, a couple of these exit ramps, I had to remember that I wasn't in my GLS or my wife's X3 at all. So it's a little bouncy. It's average. There's nothing really to write home about. I mean, I would imagine in this price point for the point A to point B people, functionality is really all that matters here. I mean, they're not going to be going around a exit ramp or whatever high speed. So if you drive within, you know, safe margin where you're casually maybe 5 above the speed limit type of person, and you're just going to work, grocery store, stuff like that, there's nothing wrong with this car at all. And that's where I'm going to really leave it. The Nissan Rogue. What a nice rental car, right? And that, my friends, is the 2023 Nissan Rogue. Turning it in, and that caps the review. And again, if you guys like this type of stuff, like, subscribe, and I'll have more of these cars that I think people should drive.